We fought in all your wars for a freedom that we have yet to enjoy. We make America great in the world with our art and our skill and our talent.
That's right.
Our brilliance is hidden away in corporate America. Our own young people cannot see their own giants, intellectual giants, scientific giants, the people that have made a contribution to making this nation what it is. Our scientists, our scholars, our inventors are hidden from our own people, that we can only look at sports figures and entertainers so that we may think that the only thing that is valuable is if we can jump higher than white folk or fight longer or run a ball faster. This is silly.
What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my space. This is Ivan Sraela. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to watch today's video. Guys, on today's video, we want to talk about the terrible condition, the absurd condition of black people living in America. To speak to us today is Minister Louis Farakhan. And in this specific video, Louis Farakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam, has spoken about the struggles and systemic challenges black Americans face in America. He has highlighted issues such as economic inequality, mass incarceration, racial discrimination, poor education systems, and the breakdown of black families as major problems impacting the black community. Farakhan argues that these conditions are not accidental, but the result of historical oppression, systemic racism, and deliberate efforts to keep black people disfranchised. He often calls for black economic empowerment, self-sufficiency, and unity to combat these issues. So guys, I want you to watch this video of Louis Farakhan. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this together, fam.
Let me make it very clear. They have a lot to offer. You know, they ought to give it to us free. After we brought you out of the caves of Europe and educated you, you ought to give us this free. You're just ungrateful. We build your country for you. Over 300 years of forced enslavement, we got no pay. You got rich off of our backs, and we got to pay you for half but education. And you're not educated in a way that you have marketable skills. Leave here with a degree in black studies. Who's paying for that? A degree in phys ed. You always had a strong back. You know that's what they brought us here for. It's sad that we even have to speak like this on a campus of highly intelligent persons, so-called. But I thank all of you for coming out. Each and every one of you, thank you for paying the fee that they had to charge in order to make their ends meet. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your patience. Waiting in long lines. We could have had you in here in a short time, but they didn't want us to do the searching. It's all right. We thank the security for the job that they did, but we could have done it better. We're much more experienced at it. We don't have an event where we don't search. And we've been doing it now for 60 years, and we're experienced at it. But of course, you know, black hands. Don't touch me with your black hands. One of these days you will understand that the greatest blessing in your midst are the very people that you have no respect for. And before this is done, this black people in your midst could prove to be the greatest cursing. Because depending upon how you handle them today will be the judgment of this nation. We have been faithful slaves, loyal servants. We work hard for little or no pay. We fought in all your wars for a freedom that we have yet to enjoy. We make America great in the world with our art and our skill and our talent. That's right. Our brilliance is hidden away in corporate America. Our own young people cannot see their own giants, intellectual giants, scientific giants, the people that have made a contribution to making this nation what it is. Our scientists, our scholars, our inventors are hidden from our own people, that we can only look at sports figures and entertainers so that we may think that the only thing that is valuable is if we can jump higher than white folk or fight longer or run a ball faster. This is silly. But that's not what I came here to talk about. I didn't come here to get into any controversy. And I really didn't come here to take up my time speaking on black-Jewish relationships. That's a waste of my time. And I don't come here necessarily to defend myself against the charges of anti-Semitism. My people know better. So you are blowing in the wind. And soon your own people will know. We have your history. We know you pretty well. And I think you are angry at us because we know the truth. And we are unafraid to speak it. I think that's why you're a little angry. I think that you are angry with Farakhan because you can't buy him. You're angry with Farakhan because you can't control my speech. You're angry with me because you have nothing to offer me that I desire more than the liberation of 30 to 40 million of us, and really even your own liberation from the ignorance that clouds your mind into thinking that you may be better simply because you are white. We're going to change all of that with the help of Almighty God. I want to talk today about the condition of black people and solutions to problems. As black people, we are in a terrible condition as we face the 21st century. Some writers are saying that by the year 2000, 70% of us will be dead. Or so incapacitated that we will have no meaning for this society. Some are saying that at the rate that we are going, with the death, the disease, the destruction of self due to fratricidal conflict, drug wars, that we are in fact right now a destroyed people who have become totally useless to this society. We are in a dangerous position because the American people have no use for you when there is no use for you. I'll say that again. The society has no use for you when there is no more use for you. The white elderly suffer because there's no more use for them. It's a shame that after the elderly give their time and their life to make a society, that in the twilight years of their lives they have no health insurance, eating out of garbage cans, living on fixed income, and then robbed by unscrupulous people of the little bit of savings that they may have been allowed to save. This is for white elderly. Don't talk about the black elderly. The children are suffering. Black children are suffering. Discarded in a field the other day, a bag with about 167 fetuses. But we don't know if there's any criminal charges to be laid against somebody, but there's 167 fetuses. It's easy to charge a young black boy with murder and try him as an adult. But who will be tried for the murder of 167 lives? Who will be tried for this crime against humanity? It's not even considered a crime against humanity. It's considered expediency. It's considered the right of choice. It's considered okay for you to have control of your bodies, my dear sisters and women. Destroying the future and the promise of greatness coming through your wombs. All because you fear some privation or deprivation or loss of some opportunity, so you murder the fruit of the womb. And it is all right in this society. Where's the moral correctness in America? A den of thieves. It's all right for white-collar thieves, computer thieves, to rob the country of and corporations and banks of hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, but the headlines go to the little black brother who snatches a pocketbook or is selling some crack cocaine to his own brother. So we are made to look like the real criminal people of America, while the real criminals who run the government rob nations of their destiny, rob nations of their leadership, turn over government after government if they don't like it, murder tens of hundreds of thousands of human beings to get their way so that you can maintain this false, illusory status. Never in the history since 2,000 years ago has a head of state been kidnapped after his own people are bombed and shot into submission and brought to America in chains to be tried. And Mr. Bush said justice was done. Suppose the people that grieve over what happened when he was on the watch in the CIA had the wherewithal to come to America and kidnap your crooked presidents and bring them to a foreign government and try them for the murder of innocent people. But you don't have to worry about that, because nobody is powerful enough to do to you what you delight in doing to others. But I'm here to tell you that there's a God on scene today who has your number, and your writing is on the wall in blood. Your kingdom has been weighed in the balance, and it has been found wanting. You can't stop the God today who is present. You can put a bullet in Farakhan if God allows it. You can kill our leaders if God allows it. But the God is present today. And death is inside America today. It's not at the door. It has crossed the threshold. Just a little leak in Chicago that went unattended. Just a little leak. And the loop closes down. Millions of gallons of water under your fine structures. They say the cost is about $1 billion now in loss and going up, because water doesn't play. You have respect for your mighty buildings, but water erodes the foundation. And the longer it stays, the more chance there is for death and disease as a result of it. Just a leak. God can close you down in the twinkling of an eye. And He's present, alive, and working His will. Be careful how you handle these black people, because they have become the people of God. He promised in the scriptures He would choose the foolish, the despised, the rejected, the unwanted, and He would be their God and they would be His people. And He would manifest His wisdom and His power through a people that were no people at all. The Jews should be most wise, because they have the record. They have the prophets, and they know the prophecy. So here we are in your midst, as Israel was in the midst of the Egyptians under Pharaoh. Here we are in your midst for 400 years, mistreated. Here we are in your midst. You have always known that a deliverer was coming out from among this people. You know this. Therefore you watch our children like a hawk watches a chicken, to see if you can discern which one or ones of us might be the deliverer. But just as Moses was hidden, so was the deliverer for us hidden. He's not to come from a distant shore. He's to come right from among us. They know this. That's why J. Edgar Hoover was busy trying to stop the rise of a black messiah. Why would J. Edgar Hoover use so much money of the taxpayers to see if they could stop the rise of a black messiah? Who told Hoover that blacks would be looking for and expecting or would get a black messiah? Do blacks need somebody like that? You do too, white folks. or you're in bad shape today. You have an education that will not allow you to solve the critical problems of our time. And so tonight, if you will pay a little attention to this child of slaves that does not have your degrees. I didn't graduate from one of these fine universities. But that doesn't mean I'm not learned. You're not the only one that gives out learning. God is the first teacher and the best teacher. And now, problems and solutions. There has to be a solution to the problem of the unwanted presence of between 30 and 40 million black people. Yes, sir. What is the solution? If you become useless, not only to this society, but useless to yourselves, what has America planned for you? She calls us the permanent underclass. Just listen to the words, permanent. You know what permanent means. It means that as long as you're here, you will always be the underclass. Does that state the will of the government? There's an old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Jesus said, seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened. Ask, and it shall be given. But the government is not seeking. The government is not asking. The government is not knocking. So the government declares this is a permanent underclass. In 1968, after Martin Luther King was assassinated, not because he had a dream, but because Dr. King discovered reality and began to deal with the hypocrisy of government. Our brother was assassinated, and 100 cities were set on fire or more. Now in every major city, there's a Martin Luther King Drive or Boulevard. That's nice. The enemy kills you, then names an alley after you, and you're supposed to be happy over that. The only honor you can give Dr. King is to work to make a just society. That's the honor that commemorates that man's life. Not a plaque or something on a drive somewhere. We shouldn't be moved by things like that. After the riots, rebellions better, Lyndon Johnson impaneled a blue ribbon commission. It was called the Kerner Commission, and they studied the condition of blacks in the cities of America, and they made their recommendations to the president. Certainly the Kerner Commission was weeks and months of hard work, and we can't begin to break all of that down in a minute. But in the overview of their work, they said there were two Americas, separate and unequal, one black one white. This is 1968. They recommended to the president that at that time in 1968, 12 million blacks were in the inner cities of America. And if America really wanted to do something to change this reality, the government would have to develop the will to tax the American people. And monies would have to be allocated to mainstream black people. Otherwise, by 1985, there would be 22 million black people in the inner cities, and then they said it would be impossible to integrate black people.
Louis Farakhan is one of those black scholars who really need to continue empowering black people. Some of his videos from decades ago are still powerful in this day and time. They still make sense. You know, the black people are still struggling in America. He says in this video that white supremacists are very ungrateful. We brought you out of the caves of Europe and educated you. That's now Louis Farakhan referring to the white supremacists and how black folks brought them out of the caves of Europe and educated them. We built your country for you. Over 300 years of forced enslavement. We got nothing to be paid, and you got rich from our work. We have been faithful slaves, loyal servants. We worked hard for little or no pay. We fought in all your wars for freedom we are yet to enjoy. We actually made America great in the world with our art, skill, and talent. Our brilliance is hidden away in corporate. Our scientists, our scholars, our inventors are hidden from our own people, that we can only look at only sports and entertainment, so that we may think that the only thing that is valuable is if we can do sports better than the white folk. We have your history. We know you very well. I think you're angry at us because we know the truth and we are unafraid to speak about it. You're angry with me because you can't buy me. You can't control my speech. You have nothing to offer me. All I want is for the liberation of black people. Family, those are the words of Louis Farakhan. Louis Farakhan takes it back to history. He says what black folks have done for the white supremacists. They enslaved us. Before they even enslaved us, we removed them from the caves of Europe. We educated them. After that, they came and enslaved us. We worked for them for years for free. We built America as black people, as laborers who are not being paid. But the thing we are still getting right now is just absurd. Constant racism, constant discrimination against black folk. We see black people being murdered in cold blood. It's easier for a young black person to be easily murdered in the streets than it is for a white man. Both of them innocent. Family, things are not working for the black folk, in America. And Louis Farakhan, specifically in this video, just tries to explain the terrible conditions that black people have been put in America. And in the same speech, he tries to empower the black folk. He says that the biggest thing we can do is for us to unify. Our unity will be our strength. It's for us to push self-sufficiency. It's for us to be empowered economically, create opportunities amongst ourselves. These are some of the ways that we can be able to get rid of these constant problems we have been put by the white supremacists in America. I went further to do more research in the same story, and Louis Farakhan has consistently addressed the condition of black Americans through a lens of historical oppression, systemic racism, and self-empowerment. His perspectives are more often rooted in the Nation of Islam's ideologies, which emphasizes self-reliance, economic independence, and moral discipline. Here are some of the key insights that I know that I just found out, in my research. Number one is economic disfranchisement. Farakhan argues that black Americans have been deliberately excluded from economic power. He highlights redlining, predatory lending, and lack of access to capital as barriers preventing black communities from building wealth. He often calls for black people to invest in their own businesses and keep money circulating within our own communities. Family, this is something that I have repeated in my videos time and again. The only way we can actually thrive is by us investing, in our own communities. Let us employ other black people. Let us invest back our monies in our community. That way we can be able to grow by ourselves as black folks. Let us for once think about ourselves. Let us for once do things to benefit ourselves. For once, let us stop thinking about the white supremacists and just ensure that the interests of our fellow black men and women are actually met. When we start by empowering ourselves economically, we can easily beat all these problems that the white supremacist is trying to constantly put us in America. Then number two is mass incarceration and legal injustice. He views the criminal justice system as a modern form of slavery, disproportionately imprisoning black men. He rephrases policies like war on drugs, strike laws, and bias policies as tools of oppressing designed to break up black families and limit opportunities for economic and social progress. Number three is miseducation and the failing of school systems. Farakhan often criticizes the American education system for failing black children by not teaching them their true history or equipping them with the tools for success. He views the criminal justice he believes education should be reformed to emphasize self-sufficiency, knowledge of self, and skills that lead to independence rather than dependency on a system that historically marginalized black people. Then we have destruction of the black family. According to Farakhan, the weakening of the black family structure through welfare policies, mass incarceration, and negative media portrayals has been one of the greatest setbacks for black progress. He encourages strong black marriages, responsible fatherhood, and traditional family values as a means to rebuild the black community. Then we have the role of music, media, and culture. Farakhan frequently criticizes mainstream media and the music industry for promoting destructive messages such as violence, materialism, and disrespect to other black women. He believes these messages are deliberately pushed to corrupt young minds and prevent the community from rising. Last but not least is self-reliance and nation building. Rather than seeking integration into a system he believes is inherently oppressive, Farakhan advocates for self-reliance. He has encouraged black people to buy land, establish independent institutions, and create their own economic and educational systems to become truly free from systemic control. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the teachings of Louis Farakhan, specifically on today's topic. Like this video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'd be so grateful, guys. Guys, I'd ask you guys from the bottom of my heart that you may consider subscribing to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and I can only do that through your support. This channel endeavors to teach you guys about black history and also black empowerment. Thank you, and see you all in my next video. Goodbye for now.